So how's it going, guys? I'm down here at Ignite Martial Arts on, what is it, Wednesday night here. Just had some fun gi rounds with none other than the smiling assassin, David Martinez, of course 5-0 as a pro now, current eternal lightweight champion, looking to add some more hardware to the ever-impressive wall here at Ignite Martial Arts. So, of course, like I said, Dave, training out of here at Ignite, and you have a very special relationship with the head coach, Mr. Ryan Dunstan. Talk to me a little bit about what's it like training under Ryan and how your relationship came to be.
Oh, well, it all started when I met him down in Gamebred. And I can't remember how it all went after that, but I started training with him on the way home from Gamebred while I was still living in Bundaberg.
Yep.
And I found this is really beneficial.
Yep.
So I started making the effort to come see him exclusively.
So, of course, like you mentioned, you used to live up in Bundaberg. And how long have you now been living on the coast for?
Oh, was it a couple of months now?
Yeah. I believe you have a very special roommate too.
Yeah, the man himself.
The man himself, Mr. Ryan Dunstan. Yeah. So I can only imagine how much fight talk gets done under that roof. Must be pretty cool to live with him. So
you don't go to sleep.
Roll until all hours of the morning. So, of course, here at Ignite, you also get to share the mats with another pretty special man, UFC veteran Ben Wall. So I've heard some pretty phenomenal stories about you and Ben in a training room here. I've heard you do half-an-hour wrestling rounds and all kinds of other crazy stuff. So talk to me a little bit about what it's like training with someone like Ben who has that wealth of experience, who's been to the big show and, been under those big lights.
It's goddamn exhausting is what it is, man. And that guy's a beast. And I love every session I get to train with him.
Yeah, it's really interesting watching both of you guys because you do have sort of similar styles in a sense, but you do have your own uniqueness to your styles as well in comparison to each other. But that grimy, pressure heavy wrestling style, you guys really must work off each other pretty well.
Yeah, we're practically like the wrestling version of the Diaz brothers. We're very similar, but also very different.
Yeah. No, awesome, mate. So, of course, 5-0 now as a pro, as I mentioned earlier. 4 finishes too, not discriminating in the method too. We talked about this off camera. I like to see when people have a nice even mix of TKOs and submissions. So 2 TKOs, 2 submissions for you at the moment. What a crazy year. Of course, got the Australian lightweight title on Eternal MMA and your 6th professional fight, of course, taking place on Coastal Combat 6. And interestingly enough, it's going to be 1 day shy of your 1-year anniversary as a pro.
Yes.
So 6 fights, essentially, it's going to be in 1 calendar year. I mean, talk to me about the last 12 months and how it's been for you.
Well, honestly, man, it's not enough fights. I'm very disappointed.
I'll have to talk to the management, hey?
Yeah. I tried to get a couple more here and there, but things wouldn't work out. But other than that, well, things have been going according to plan to the coach. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's definitely fair to say. 5-0, like we mentioned, I mean, it's just a crazy stretch. And, within that last 12 months, you've had some big wins. The likes of Brenton Mumford, Ethan Thomas, but perhaps none bigger than your win over UFC vet Mike Wilkinson.
Yeah.
So a 3rd round rear naked choke finish where you actually put him to sleep after a pretty intense opening 2 rounds. That fight was pretty interesting the way it came together though, wasn't
it? Yeah. That wasn't really a fight, man. That was a life experience.
So talk to me about how the fight actually came together.
Well, originally Ben was meant to fight him, but he got injured and they sent me in as a replacement. I'm like, trying to be on vacation, but
no vacations when you're in the Dunstan Death Squad.
Yeah.
So, of course, getting the finish over a UFC event like that is something that gets a lot of attention. So everyone sort of had you, circled as a real name to watch, but I think that's when you almost turned from the prospect into the contender with that win.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about the feeling you get when you think about that fight and how it was, getting that 3rd round finish.
I can't really describe it, man. Because everything just went exactly how we planned it. The finish came in the 3rd round, and it all worked out, and it was pretty incredible, man. But to fight someone like Mike Wilkinson is it's an honour, and it takes me back.
It's pretty cool. I'm sure that you were watching the UFC back when he was fighting in there. Had some pretty impressive performances in the UFC as well. So getting that win is a big feather in your cap, mate. And one thing that you touched on there, the 3rd round finish prediction. One thing that I always like to do before your fights is have a chat to Mr. Dunstan, your head coach, and he always gives me a alarmingly accurate prediction of how it's going to go. He told me 3rd round submission, but he just got a little bit wrong. He thought it was going to be an arm triangle, but you got the rear naked.
Yeah, I almost did. I went for it.
Yeah, that's right.
The elbow slipped out, unfortunately.
Oh, well, close enough, eh? We'll give you the tick for that one. So, of course, Coastal Combat 6, you're coming in fighting for the professional lightweight title.
Yes.
Standing across the cage from a man named Sam Flynn. Sam, of course, 2-0 as a professional, 2 finishes as well.
Yep.
Give me your thoughts on Sam as an opponent and the challenges that he brings.
Well, first, he seems like a long guy, like tall, lanky. He moves around a bit tricky. Yeah. Throws a lot of kicks, it looks like. Yeah. Yeah, so he presents some unique challenges, and I'm looking forward to it.
It was interesting. I spoke to Sam in a similar interview to this, and basically the way this fight came about was he called you out.
Yeah.
And I'll speak for Joel Zapasvari here, the promoter of Coastal Combat. He was literally had the Tapology rankings out and was just going down, calling everyone, trying to get someone to fight you, and everyone's phone was ringing out. Yeah. Sam Flynn came to the table and said he wanted you. How does that make you feel?
Sounds like he's a real man.
Yeah.
Maybe he can talk to the rest of the ladies.
Yeah, well.
Get them on board.
So I think it's fair to say now, Dave, that you are the #1 prospect in the country at the moment. So we've spoken about a lot of your accolades. I believe it's a 14-fight win streak you're on at the moment?
Yes. Yeah.
Your lone loss coming in your amateur debut, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But correct me if I'm wrong, I believe you didn't really have much training at that point.
None.
Brother. So you just jumped in against a fighter who actually went on to have a very good career in Tristan Murphy.
Yeah, went on to be welterweight champ.
Yeah. So pretty crazy. Funny to look back and see the way that both of you have developed as martial artists. But what were you thinking getting in there with no training? Just wanted to give it a go?
I did. Man, I watched that movie, Never Back Down. I'm like, this looks good. I'm going to give that a shot.
Yeah. Okay.
So I lined myself up to fight and jumped in and threw a hard jab, felt good, got taken down and smashed.
Well, like I mentioned, the #1 prospect in the country, probably the #1 contender, I'd say, at this point now. Like I said earlier in the interview, I think you've passed from prospect to contender now. You are the man to try and beat now, as far as lightweights in Australia are concerned. How does that feel knowing you got the target on your back? You know?
I love it.
You love it?
Yeah, I love it.
Do you feel any extra added pressure?
No. In fact, I'm just disappointed no one's come knocking. But here Sam is, he wants it, and so we're going to settle it in 2 weeks.
Oh, mate, I cannot wait. I think I said this in the interview with Sam as well. I think I speak for the rest of the Australian MMA community when I say, this is a fight that a lot of people have circled. Sam, a very talented, young, athletic guy, coming up against, none other than the Smiling Assassin. It's going to be a phenomenal night, of course, September 7, and now relocated to a bigger venue, which is going to be great, at the multi-purpose hall there in Coolum.
Yeah, getting bigger and bigger.
Just getting bigger and bigger, mate. The house was, the Civic Centre was sold out, so Joel made the move, so that's going to be awesome. It's going to be a full house and an even bigger venue, and 2 of the best lightweights in the country going at it. How do you think you're going to get it done, mate?
Let's go, I don't know. Second round submission.
I like it, Dave. Well, thanks.
If my coach lets me.
Okay.
I got things I'm not allowed to do. And
yeah.
It frustrates me sometimes.
Oh, well,
but it might cost me my stripes on my belt.
Oh, no. Let's hope he doesn't start ripping those off, because that's going to make me feel worse. Thanks heaps for the talk, chat, mate. Not so much thank you for the rounds that we just did. You absolutely mauled me, but it was an honour to get to roll with you, mate.
You held your own.
So, of course, everyone, if you haven't already got tickets to the show, make sure you buy the pay-per-view and see this man potentially going home with the Coastal Combat lightweight title.
Potentially.